How do different countries approach environmental policy? Have you ever wondered how countries around the world tackle the important issue of environmental policy? The approaches vary widely, influenced by political beliefs, economic goals, and social needs. Let's break down how different nations handle this crucial topic, especially from a Republican perspective. In the United States, the Republican Party has a unique history with environmental policy. Initially, the party supported significant legislation, including the establishment of the Environmental Protection Agency under President Richard Nixon and the Clean Air Act. However, over the years, the party has shifted towards a more skeptical view of extensive federal regulations. Today, Republicans often prioritize economic growth and limited government intervention. They argue that too many regulations can hinder innovation and job creation. Instead of broad federal mandates, Republicans typically advocate for state-level solutions and market-driven approaches. Now, let's look at the European Union. Many European countries adopt a more regulatory stance on environmental issues. The European Union enforces strict environmental standards and promotes renewable energy through binding targets. This approach often involves substantial government intervention and financial support for green technologies. From a Republican viewpoint, such regulations may seem burdensome to businesses and could impact economic competitiveness. Next, we have China. The Chinese government combines strong control with ambitious environmental initiatives. They invest heavily in renewable energy and pollution control. However, economic growth remains a top priority. Republicans might see China's model as an example of how government-directed policies can coexist with rapid economic development. Still, they may express concerns about the lack of market freedom and transparency in such a system. In many developing countries, the focus often shifts towards economic growth and poverty alleviation. These nations frequently argue that they need energy access and industrial development to improve living standards. Republicans may sympathize with this perspective, believing that environmental policies should not come at the expense of economic opportunities. They often stress that solutions should be tailored to each country's unique development stage. When it comes to practical applications relevant to Republican views on environmental policy, there are several key points. First, there is strong support for market-driven innovations, such as clean energy technologies developed through private enterprise. Additionally, Republicans prefer state and local control over environmental regulations rather than federal oversight. They advocate for a balance between environmental goals and economic growth, ensuring that regulations do not stifle job creation or energy independence. Lastly, there is encouragement for voluntary conservation efforts and public-private partnerships instead of top-down government programs. In summary, countries approach environmental policy in diverse ways, influenced by their political ideologies and economic priorities. From a Republican perspective, effective environmental policy respects economic freedom, encourages innovation, and limits federal overreach while recognizing the importance of conserving natural resources for future generations.